22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to Black Westchester Presents, the People Before Politics radio show. I am A.J. Woodson. We got Damon K. Jones in the house on the phone. He'll be here in a second talking to one of the guests that's coming up. And we got the lovely Cynthia Turnquest-Jones in the house. She's back. In effect, she wasn't here last week. She was on location. Cynthia been doing some on-location stuff. She got a story she did from yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? I kind of like the on-location.
Yeah. You do that good.
Cool.
That makes my job a lot easier. I can just take the pictures, and I could just edit it. And I'm like, yo, we got more coverage and stuff. I'm like, I ain't got to be there.
And this iPhone takes real good photos.
Yeah, those are good pictures.
Yeah, they're really good, right?
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
So we got Damon K. Jones just walked in the studio.
Yeah, what's up?
The man,
what's
the
up,
legend,
D?
the myth.
What's up?
You know what I'm saying? On the cover of the Journal News today.
Yeah,
looking like Ultron.
I apologize to the people that know me, usually be in the suits. They got me looking like Ultron on the front cover, but it's all right. But because we
super angry black man.
Yeah, basically
with a hoodie with a hoodie
on, basically. But
what are you on the cover for?
That could mean
what are you on the cover for?
I'm on the cover because the Journal News uncovered the actual video of from the police cars of the Ramapo police when they pulled over the 4 black patrol officers.
They tweeted us all. I got like 5-6 tweets.
Yeah, so I mean and I went down to the Journal News office and I watched the video. I was unaware that they was going to take pictures, because when I'm not doing my thing.
He's incognito.
Yeah, I'm incognito. I'm looking just like this. Jackson State University, sweatpants, Crocs on.
That's Khalid's. I got that from Khalid.
Yeah.
He said when he got kicked out for a minute, they had the Muslims had the ones in the nation. They had to come incognito because they wasn't allowed to go see him.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I was, and they took a picture. But it's all good. It's all good. God is good. Put me on the front page. Speaking truth to power, and the quote that they have me on the front page is saying that if it happens to these guys, meaning the 4 black parole officers, a young black boy does not have a chance in encounters with police. If these parole officers had their badges and bulletproof vests, and in a registered New York City parole car with the New York City parole plaque in the window, only racist white people would think that a black person will go out of his way to create all that false stuff and ride through their town. See, this is the sad thing about racism.
But a white person could do it, and you would believe they could be fake, and you believe it's real because they're white.
Right. Well, not only that. This is the sad thing about racism, because the perceptions of white people. See, it doesn't. Sometimes it don't come out until, situations like that. Sometimes it doesn't come out till situations like the Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. shooting, which today is the 3-year anniversary that Janet DeFior failed to indict the cops on killing a man in his own house and calling him nigger.
And you can read about that on blackwestchester.com, written by my man Damon K. Jones.
I wrote an article. It should have been a hate crime. This was a hate crime ignored. Because when it happens to a Jewish person, or it happens to a Middle Eastern person, or Indian person, when people are assaulted and called racial slurs, they process that as a hate crime. And this was another conversation I had on Facebook with a gentleman, and I just want to get into the whole Baltimore thing.
We're going to talk about that in great detail today.
Yeah, but, the racism comes out. Well, if they violated policy, then they should be charged with violating policy. See, but we have to understand that there's no police crime laws. So when you violate policy,
you don't break the law.
No, you have to match it to the laws that's on the books. And a real district attorney, like the state DA in Baltimore, that's what she did. And maybe y'all could read the other article that A.G. Snyderman and elected officials from New York should take note from the Baltimore state attorney on how she handles police crime.
Before we get too much into Baltimore, because we're going to deal with a lot of that with the show, I want Cynthia to talk about where she was yesterday, stories she wrote, what she did for the last week, she was getting ready to do when you walked in the door.
So I had a great day yesterday. There's so many things to cover, but something that I kept promising myself that I will cover was about Tylon Murphy, who I met when my student was murdered by NYPD 2 or 3 years ago, and Murph and I hit it off immediately, and so his daughter was murdered, and she was murdered on 9/11, and it was because of a gang war that has been going on for about 40 years in Harlem.
Between the Grand Houses and what? The
Grand Houses and the Manhattanville houses.
Right.
Back and forth. And so since then, he's befriended the family of the individuals who murdered his, I didn't put that in the article.
Yeah, but he told me that. He said that on the show, I think. He mentioned, I know he told me that. I don't know if he said that on the show.
And so that I think, besides that, with me gravitating towards Murph, was also how much he has this love for the children and making sure that peace is instilled amongst children and things of that nature. You gonna do that, caller?
We have a caller already. Caller, welcome to People Before Politics. Please state your name and your call, please, and your purpose for calling, please. Hello.
Yeah, hello, yes. I'm Jose LaSalle, and I'm just calling to get involved in the conversation, I guess.
Hey, Jose, how you doing?
Bro? What's up,
Jose,
so we
my
got
brother?
Live on the air. We got Jose LaSalle on the air. He was on the ground in Baltimore. He is a part of Cop Watch. What's up, Jose? How you doing, baby?
Chilling. How's everybody doing up there? Much love and respect to all of y'all.
Great.
All right. So being that, you on the air, we might as well just start. I would like for you to talk to the people about how was the journey, how was your experience, and your thoughts and things of that nature while you were in Baltimore.
I felt the need to go to Baltimore because Baltimore is opening on another door to the reality of what people of color is facing, not just in Baltimore, New York City, and Ferguson, and so many other places, but all around the world when it comes down to accountability when police officers kill somebody. So I felt the need to go over there and feel that type of I guess freedom fighter spirit within these people that actually created a different type of conversation that even Ferguson created here in New York City and all around the world. So it was amazing to go there, because Baltimore is a town that is is a forgotten ghost town. It reminds me of the 80s here in New York City, in the Bronx and within the 5 boroughs, how everything was like, everybody was forgotten, buildings, abandoned, and it's like this. It looks so terrible that I was like, wow, it reminded me of the time when I was growing up, but we really had nothing. We just had to fetch for ourselves. But what happened to Freddie Gray? What that did was brought a community that was divided together, and that's what I seen when I was over there in Baltimore. I seen a community that was divided, from the gang members down to just regular civilians walking up and down the street. What took place in Baltimore brought a community together. People now know one another from different parts of town, people working together and making sure that their voices are loud and precise, that it can't be ignored. And it's a beautiful thing. You know, it's a beautiful thing what I witnessed over there. And I'm definitely heading back out there again sometime within the next few days to build with the Cop Watch from Baltimore and share our strategies over here with the NYPD over here, so we could share our strategies and tactics, and maybe help their tactics will help us over here, and our tactics will help them over there.
So Jose, the Cop Watch that's in Baltimore, it's always been there? Have you guys had a rapport before, or is this a new chapter that's starting there?
No, I mean, we just first met. We first met this Saturday, and also Kevin Moore, who is the young man who did who recorded Freddie Gray being dragged like a rag doll from wherever they were dragging him into the van. He's also now part of the Cop Watch group over there, and it's amazing. Just to say, it's amazing to even meet Kevin Moore, because what Kevin Moore. And not just Kevin Moore, we talk about Kevin Moore, Ramsey Alter in Staten Island, recording Eric Gardner being choked. We're talking about 15 Santana up in South Carolina, recording what happened to Walter Scott. We talk, and there's a lot more other individuals, but these 3 individuals, what they have done is so amazing, because they have opened the windows and doors of the people's mind to see the reality of what's going on, and they can't deny that it exists. So these guys, man, I give a lot of respect for their courage and bravery to stand there, regardless of knowing that police could have ran up, bust them in the head, arrested them. They stood their ground and documented these incidents, which has become a national exposure of police brutality. And I give much respect to them. So definitely I met them Saturday, and we definitely going to work real close with them again and give them and share a lot of our tactics here in New York City, how we use our psychological warfare tactics to be able to control certain situations. When we're in the street patrolling, to the point where police sees us, their attitude changes towards the person that they stopped or the person they're arresting, because video recording is becoming the only weapon that people of color have to be able to protect themselves and to be able to protect others here in New York City and all around the world. Because there's a lot of officers that tells us, please don't put me on YouTube. My family look at this, look at YouTube. My family could see this. I don't want them to think of me wrong, but saying I'm only putting what they're doing.
I want to ask you a question. This is AJ. Now, we covered a lot in Black Westchester. We covered the peaceful protests. And it got a lot of attention because a lot of the press was only showing the most negative aspects of it, and they weren't showing, the gang members joining together. They wasn't showing the cats out on the block. They was actually cleaning up the streets and all that stuff. They were only showing the violence. So since you were there, boots on the ground, I want you to share with our listeners what you actually saw, regardless of what the news said, what you saw in Baltimore, the state, the city, the climate, the atmosphere.
Listen, to be honest, I saw what I wish I could see in many parts within the 5 boroughs of New York City. I saw communities from miles away from each other together there, working together to make sure that they show, the same people that's trying to portray them as these evil thugs, don't give a damn about their community. They was trying to show how, you know what I'm saying, these communities come together and make sure that they take care of what they feel is theirs. But one thing that a young lady was saying, which was very touching, and she was crying, and this young lady was like probably 14 years old, and she was crying when she was talking to me about this. She was saying, you know, it's sad that they say that we destroy our community, but we feel like this community has never been ours, because no matter what we do, everything we have here is taken from us whenever they want to take it. Mm-hmm. And she was talking, and then she said about the CVA. She was like, you know, my family can't even go to the CVAs because they don't even cover her Medicaid, I guess whatever Medicaid status she has. She said they don't even cover that there. So she has to go all the way across town to get her medication anyway. So CVS has not done anything for my family, and there's a lot of other families out here that can't go there because they don't take the plan that this, you know, that the state over here in Baltimore gives them. So we have to travel far away somewhere else to be able to get the medicine. So, you know, I understand that they say that we destroying things that is beneficial for us, but it doesn't benefit everybody. So when this young lady said that, gave me a better understanding to understand that, you know, they say they destroy their community, but a lot of these businesses are taking money from the community that these people are living in, and a lot of them is being disfranchised from going to either CVS to be able to get the medication because they don't cover the plan that this government has given these people. So we're talking about that, you know, we have to be able to balance this out and get a clear understanding of how the people in the community feel about what happened and what they see that we don't see.
And, you know, it's interesting that you said that, and I'm glad you brought that up because I definitely didn't read about that or hear about that. But even back in 92 when they had the L.A., what they call the L.A. riots, when they talked to a lot of the people on the street, you know, the black media, when they actually talked to them, a lot of those stores were stores that were doing nothing for the community. Because there was one store, and the case in point of that, there was one store with a big, big glass window on the front and the side. It was like, you know, the glass wall. They sold nothing but like car stereos and all kinds of audio and stuff, and nothing happened to them, but stores around them got, like, that's the place you're going to rob if you're in the hood.
Is that another call?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the place you're going to rob if you're in the hood. But they always treated the neighborhood right, so that store was protected. But the stores that did nothing good for the community are the stores they burned down. But that story never got. Now there was some people that's opportunists and they just doing it, but you know sometimes that's not the whole story. Hold on. We got another caller. If you can state your name and your comment, please. Welcome to People Before Politics Radio.
Peace, it's Timothy Ford, Black Power.
Peace,
What's going on,
brother?
What's up, Timothy? What's up, Timothy? This is Cynthia, AJ, and Damon, and we also have Jose, who I know that you had a ride down there together. And so Jose was just explaining to us about him having a conversation with a 14-year-old girl who stated that the CVS in the neighborhood did not honor their Medicaid. And so those individuals were, you know, they weren't welcomed at that particular CVS, and therefore, and therefore for CVS to get all, you know, destroyed and looted and things of that nature is clearly understood. So what are some things that you also notice in regards to you being there hands-on in Baltimore?
You know, let me just say, I grew up in Baltimore, and when I grew up in Baltimore, actually in the 80s, and looked the same as it does today, and it's a shame. You know, the people, the politicians, the so-called black leadership organizations and everything down there really don't give a damn about the people in the community. It's all about the money that they can get, and also how they can build downtown Baltimore where the tourist trade is. The inner Baltimore looks like a war zone, period. And, you know, with all the frustration from the lack of education down there, when I talk to people, they tell me about the poor educational system. They tell me about the homelessness. They told me about the no jobs and things of that nature. And then you have police brutality on top of that, and they wonder why people exploded. How you're supposed to explode on something like that? Because if nobody's going to take care of the problem, what do you expect for people to do? Continue to be abused? No. And that the explosion was a great revolt and rebellion to all the bullshit that they had to endure. You know, so I agree with Jose. You know, you have businesses there that don't give back to the community. Mm-hmm. Then at the same time, you're not giving back to the community. Two, you're abusing the people who try to spend their money with you. You know, we gotta learn as a people that if somebody don't want you to spend their money in their store, walk the hell out and never come back. If they want to disrespect you, don't spend your money where you're disrespected. You know, we need to build stores or support stores that respect our money. And, you know, those stores down there didn't respect the people's money. So hell with them getting burned down.
That's right. Brother, this is Damon Jones. I totally agree with you. The problem that Baltimore is facing is, I believe, a problem that a lot of black communities throughout the country is facing, that they have businesses that do not invest. They are not stakeholders in the community, and they're just bloodsuckers of the community because they just take the money out to another community and build that community. I think that has to be addressed. Some news people lost that aspect. You know, when they're they're burning down stores in their community. Yeah, but the stores that they're burning down don't do nothing for the community anyway. You know, so I think I'm glad that you said that, and you know, and I hope we could get that understanding when they talk about that they were burning down the stores. Well, actually, what have the stores done for the community?
Right.
And how many youth did they help?
Right.
You know, out of those stores in the community. Thank you, brother, for making that statement.
So, Timothy, you mentioned something about the educational system. What were they saying about the educational system there? Something that I didn't even look in.
Right. You know, I have friends and family that still live in Baltimore, and one of my family was actually a teacher down there, and she was saying that, you know, that the educational system alone is just so corrupt and so I don't even know how to explain it. Miseducated.
Oh, you know, it's the wire. It's
right,
the wire.
It's basically that. You know, there's no real educational system down there. The people, as we say, has become ratchet because of what they have to deal with, you know, in the educational system. And, you know, there's no manhood training to teach the young boys how to respect themselves in the schools because there's not enough men teaching in the schools.
Yep.
You know, there's not enough men teaching in the schools, so all you have is women in the schools trying to teach young boys how to be men. You know, and and the young men don't have men, father figures at home, so it just becomes just ratchet for the males and the females. You know, and that's what we need to really address down there. Not only do we have to address the fact that, you know, they live in I call shanty towns, but we have to, you know, what I feel about it, and I've been saying it to people all along, is the hell with the politicians, the hell with the big black organizations and anything else. The people need to take over these buildings, these abandoned houses. When we walk through, me, Shannon, and some others walk through the community alone, just walk through the community, we can sit there and count the abandoned houses. You have a row of houses, like 10, 20 houses on a block. If you have 10 houses on a block, at least 9 of them were vacant. You know, and and it's been vacant for years. You could tell that it was been vacant for years. My thing is, the people need to take over these houses and rebuild these houses. Give it to the homeless folks. Give it to the poor, the low-income people. Give it to families that need somewhere to live. When we was marching under a bridge, you had the people living in tents, homeless people living in tents underneath a bridge. You know, but if you go across the street from that from the trench, 2 blocks away, you got all 3 houses.
Right.
You know, and we walked up another little cul-de-sac, as we called it, and the houses were beautiful until you get to the corner. As soon as you cross the corner, the houses look like, you know, it was a war zone coming through there. You know, so again, it's not about the fact that they destroyed businesses. It's the fact that it's hurtful to know that you walk across go downtown Manhattan, go downtown Baltimore, and it look like it's spectacular.
Right.
But when you come in the hood, it reminded me, honestly, and I told Jose the same thing, it reminded me of the Bronx back in the 80s. Mm. You know, where everything was abandoned.
But, you know, it also sounds like you're talking about Newark. Because there's some section in Newark where you walk down the block and there's like one house just occupied and the rest are all for sale.
Absolutely.
Or abandoned and things of that nature.
The same thing in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You got the same things. And the thing about it, the majority who live in those areas are black.
Yep.
You know, they're black. So that means the people who's supposed to be in power just don't give a damn about those black people who live in those communities.
Yep.
You know?
And one of the things that Jose said is that, you know, just walking through and talking to the people where they want help. And
right.
and one of the things that AJ was talking about was that they were not talking about, or they are not talking about that part in the media of the individuals who are in Baltimore. They want help. They want the help. They want someone to come in there, or people to come in there and change what is going on, because it is a saddened situation.
Real quick, I just want to cut in real quick, my brother. For the people that are going to watch this, because we have people who's watching this in White Plains, we got the screen up right now while we're setting up for our next guest. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, please don't turn the channel. We're just setting up.
We're
please
setting
don't
up for
turn
the next
channel.
guest. So stay with us. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, my brother. I just wanted to address the people that are watching.
So I just want you and Jose to talk about you guys talking to the people and how the people felt in Baltimore who are not being heard as to someone and individuals coming in and making a change in Baltimore.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you know, it is sad to see that they can depend on people within their own community, meaning like, you know, dealing with the politicians and dealing with other government officials and dealing with other organizations there. There was a young man, he was a blood that I was talking to, I don't want to say his name, and he was saying that, you know, he was saying that he needs the help from people from outside of Baltimore, because the people of Baltimore have been so, you know, that veil has been put over their eyes that they no longer able to find their way out of the predicament and the situation they're in. So they need he was saying, you know, we need brothers like you and sisters and all y'all that came from outside. We need that. We need that to keep coming here. We need y'all to keep coming and not forget us, and not down the road 2-3 months. That's it. You know, y'all no longer here with us. We want y'all to be here. We want y'all to move in here with us. We want y'all to show us how to be able to survive the way you survive in the Bronx, the way y'all survive in Brooklyn, the way y'all survive up there in Queens, the way y'all survive in Staten Island, the way y'all survive in Manhattan. Because when he said that, it opened my eyes to realize that the same thing that happened to us in the 80s, when they just left everything abandoned, to the point where they was able to come later on and do what they always had planned to do, was to gentrify the area.
Right.
So that made me realize that, you know what, maybe brothers from here and sisters from here do need to stay on top of this problem in Baltimore and kind of educate these brothers on how to become property owners and things of that nature, because we feel that to do that over here. I remember when I was young, they were selling buildings for $1.
That's the same thing with
$1 they had buildings on the market for, but people were so busy into their own world that we didn't see the future. But now that we have seen what the future is and we felt our opportunity, we could go to Baltimore and make sure that their future does not end up like the future of many people in these communities that have been disfranchised from their own community that have lived 50 to 60 years, and they've been pushed out to the point where they've been bought out or been forced out through the gentrification, you know what I'm saying, war on the poor that they have, because that's what I call it, is a gentrification war on the poor. And the way they've been pushing out, I think that everybody that's listening, everybody on this panel, it is our duty to go to Baltimore and prepare these people to become the owners of their own community, because when I think of that, I think of Black Wall Street, which when Black Wall Street, I mean, the money filtered within that community close to 100 times before it left the community. In these communities, the money from these properties that everybody that they showing constantly in the news, we destroying our own property, this dollar doesn't even last 15 minutes or 10 minutes in these communities before it hits outside somewhere else from this community. So there's nothing being filtered in this community. So I feel that's why I feel obligated to go back to Baltimore. I feel obligated now to make sure that within my schedule, Baltimore from today on is in my schedule for every day of my life, because I need to go over there with information and kind of give them some insight and give them a clear picture of what happened to us over here through the 80s, where everything got gentrified, and the plan that they have for them in the future over there. So we could help them take over their community, but they're going to need outside help for that.
Right. I totally agree. And whatever we could do,
definitely,
from Black Westchester, People Before Politics, and Blacks in Law Enforcement, because I think
Damon, you're the man.
Huh?
Say it again.
I say you're the man, Damon. You know I got love for you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. But whatever we could do to actually assist and definitely go down to Baltimore. I know Blacks in Law Enforcement is down in D.C. Ron Hampton. I know he was probably in Baltimore this week. I know he said he was going there for some forums. Him and Dr. Ron Daniels from the Institute of Black World 21st Century. I know they were going to Baltimore, and I'm trying to free my schedule up to actually get down there.
Yeah, I've been trying to free up my schedule too.
So we could actually help. So keep us in the loop of the things that's going on, brother. So we could just plan our schedule and go down there. They
but you know what, David, now that you said that, real quick, my brother, just one. Now that you said that, Damon, I remember this officer that, because I'm very dogmatic when it comes to police officers, and I really take it hard on them. And there was this black officer that told me he was transferred to 6 different precincts because he did not want to go into a community and do what his supervisor was saying, and he felt that it was wrong. So he was transferred to 6 different precincts. He'd been transferred to 6 different precincts already, and every time they transfer him to a different precinct, it gets worse for him because he become outcast. See,
right.
I didn't know that until this officer related that to me, which I had no idea about it. So, and Damon, that I'm real hardcore when it comes to police officers. I really don't like talking too much good about them.
I know, man. But I hear that from Frank Shaw too. He's all right.
Sincere about that.
Yeah.
No, that's Timothy.
Yeah,
go on,
Tim.
Timothy.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah. But when you talk about police officers, especially here in New York, those 2 minority cops, the black cop that stalked a young brother in Brooklyn, got caught on camera, and the Chinese cop that shot Akai in the hallway, they're going to be sacrificed. The minority cops will be sacrificed before the white cops get convicted.
I agree. I agree.
We really have to understand that aspect of it too. Those cops in Baltimore, those black cops, yes, they should be highly ashamed of themselves for doing what they did, and they should go to jail and be put up under the jail. And because, as the brother knows that he's a cop, who's in law enforcement, already know that it's just a time before the white cops will turn on you for some slight reason, whatever reason it could be. And we got to get really clear. The black cops in the force or the minority cops in the force got to be real clear that they're not exempt from abuse also.
No, but the problem is, Tim, they still don't believe it. They
don't believe it.
They still don't believe it. After, you got 27 incidents just in New York where black cops, whether they were plainclothes or off duty, were shot and killed by a white cop. And it never happened in the reverse.
That's right.
You have all these cops that have been racially profiled while they were off duty, by their own NYPD officers, or you got the issue with the 4 black parole officers in Ramapo that got guns pulled on them. Because they had bulletproof vests on and a shield around their neck, and they still got guns pulled on them. So they don't believe it. Unfortunately, black cops don't believe it till it happened to them. Until they're shot or they pulled over or a family member is shot and killed or beat up bad, they don't believe it till it happens to them. And it's sad, and it's really sad. And I told my wife, I'm so happy that she's out on workman's comp. Because of the fact that it's going to be a time where the people are going to turn on these black cops because they're not standing up. They're not standing up for justice, and that's all the black community asks these black cops to do.
But Damon, it's difficult for you to. Didn't you hear Jose just said they switched?
It's not difficult.
They switched dude like 7 times from place to place to
place. But that's going to happen.
Once you step up out of the box and you have enough courage to say something, then you penalize.
Well, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you.
Right. What the hell I've been doing for the last 10 years? What the hell I've been doing? They still trying to put me in jail.
No, I know.
I mean, come on.
There needs to be something in place for officers who have the courage.
It is
to
organizations
step up to the
in place.
But
they don't want to join. But they don't want to join. They're scared to join.
They don't want to join because they're scared, brother.
They're just
real
scared.
I spoke to Michael Graves. I spoke to Noel, and sitting there talking to them brothers and listening to their stories, and to stories that they've been told by other officers. It's just outrageous that these.
We got another caller.
Somebody got the radio on.
Please turn your radio
on. Okay, I'm sorry, I got it on. Let me turn that off, fellas.
We got
Sorry
Brother
about
Shaw
that.
coming in next, but I want this brother to finish what he was saying first.
Keep going, Tim.
Right. You know, see, talking to those brothers and listening to the stories of the officers they've spoken to who are afraid to step up and stand up. It's just like, come on now, you got an organization here that says, okay, black cops against police brutality, there's 100 blacks in law enforcement, so on and so forth. You know, I'm not a fan of Eric Adams at all. I think he sold the fuck out. But, you know, those who took over the organization after he left, you know, who are still standing strong and representing strong. Why can't you join these brothers and sisters? And I spoke to a black cop. I said, why you don't join 100 blacks in law enforcement? Because you're a black cop. He's like, nah, man, I ain't doing that because of Eric Adams. I don't trust him and I don't like him and he's arrogant and this, that, and the other. I'm like, but yo, I said, Eric Adams gone now, bro. I said, he's not even affiliated with them like that.
Eric Adams, he's been gone. You know, I mean, but there's about 10 black law enforcement organizations in New York City. We have the most, New York State has the most black law enforcement organizations than any other state in the country. And if you don't like 100 blacks, you could join the Guardians. And if you don't like the Guardians, you could go join the New York State Black Law Enforcement Association. If you don't like them, you could join Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. There's no excuse.
There are 100 black black officers that care.
You said that there's 10?
Yeah, there's about 10.
Do they work together?
No, yeah, mostly they work together.
If you're scared, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, you're going to lose this little check that they're giving you or be penalized for something, they're not going to join it. You know,
no,
you imagine, you know, and that's what's going on in Baltimore. You know, these cops are just accepting whatever the fuck that the white cops do and hide hide behind and like, yeah, they, you know, I'm not going to change nothing. I'm not going to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem here in New York also.
Yeah, it is.
If it wasn't like that, we wouldn't have so much police brutality in New York.
No, because you have a culture of black law enforcement that's just happy to have a job. You know, they're just happy to be working and have some benefits, or they can pay their child support or whatever's going on. But
also, you mentioned the comment when we was writing the other
but
side
also understand something. Also, a lot of these black cops been punks all. Sorry, a lot of these black cops been punks all their life, and all of a sudden they get a little badge and gun, and all of a sudden they Superman.
Well, that too. That too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That too.
You know what I was going to say something, right, dealing with like a few things that the officer did say at the end was that he said, listen, he said Jose LaSalle, you know, I respect what you do because you come to these precinct meetings. You bring evidence and you address them. You always drop it on the deputy inspector. You drop it right in front of him, a DVD with everything you record of the officer doing, dealing with violations, dealing with not following the proper procedures and protocol of the patrol guy and things like that. And people feel good that you're coming there and they see you coming. The problem is we don't see no one coming for us when we step and actually step to the other side and say, we're not going out there to abuse people or give people summons if we feel they did not do anything wrong. And we get penalized and switched around to the point where we are no longer able to even be tracked. My family don't even know what precinct I'm working out of right now because I've been moving around so much. How, he was like, if y'all did that for us, he said, if y'all did that for me, I would stand by y'all 100%.
But you know what, Jose?
Some of they feel like they don't have nobody.
But Jose, come on, man. You know how many more times are we going to be on New York One? How many more times are we going to be in the Daily News? How many more times are we going to go down to Pat Lynch's office and call his punk ass out? How many more times are we going to do it?
What I was thinking about is that since we go to their meetings, we go to their community events. Police officers throw events in the community. We go to hand out information about knowing your rights and things of that nature. Now we could even take it to a higher level and hand out information dealing with how officers, who they could reach out to, that they could talk about issues that they're afraid to talk to others. But we need to take it into their comfort zone.
Right.
And we need to let them see that we're willing to come into their comfort zone, which in reality is our uncomfort zone, because we're going to get shut down if we say something. But we're able to come there, and that is going to empower you know what I'm saying, other officers to say, you know what, they have our back, so fuck that. I'm going to speak against the shit that's happening because I'm
you
not
know what?
with that.
I'm with it. Let's hook up next couple of weeks, try to figure out a strategy, and let's go save some black cops.
Yeah. And Jose
But you know what? I just
Jose
wanted to
and Tim, I
tell
want you to stay on the line.
Jose.
Okay,
I just wanted to tell Jose that one time we were marching for Ramarley Graham, and Jose had this list. Jose always got papers in his hand, right?
Yeah.
But so he had this list, and he was like, "This list right here is a list of all the schools where the precinct. What's the precinct over there for Ramarley? That's 47th. That's a 47.
Yeah.
But the
You
47th
telling too much
precinct
about military strategies
right.
and tacticals, but go ahead, do your thing.
And they were all they had a list of all the schools that they were monitoring on Facebook and Instagram, right? And so Jose didn't know. He had the paper, and he was talking to somebody, and I was like, "Yo, give me the paper real quick." I took the paper, snapped a picture of it, and my school that I was teaching was on it. But then my boys' school, the private school they go to, was on it. And the majority of the boys at that private school are all black and Latino. So what I did was when we had a parent conference, when we had a parent association meeting, and you know our parent association meeting, there's like 100 parents in there. I told them, I said, 47 Precinct is watching your child on Facebook and Instagram, and you need to be very mindful about what's going on because they're watching. So thank you, Jose.
That's what's up. That's what's up, Jose.
Thank you. Listen, I can only show you. You got to do the rest.
No doubt. I want Jose and Tim to stay on if they can, and I want to introduce Frank to the call. Who's holding up, brother Frank Shaw? You on the line still?
Frank.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Good evening, everybody. What's up,
Yo,
Damon?
Frank, you sound like Darth Vader, man.
Yeah, you sound a little muffled.
I'm tired, man. I've been screaming all weekend, man. My voice is worn out. But yo, feels like I said, what's up, Damon? AJ, Cynthia.
Yo, Frank, you got to get in. No, Frank, you got to get into a place where you're not coming in clear, brother.
Not at all. You
not
really
at all.
jumbled.
You really.
It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah, I'm going to get Frank shut off.
Yo, Frank, you got to get in a place where your signal is a little stronger.
Can you hear me now, brother? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but you sound like Darth Vader.
I'm going to call you back with another call, man. That's better, all right?
You sounded like that when we got the rap off. Let me tell you, man.
Now you sound like the black version of the.
Going down.
You sound like the black version of the Charlie Brown teacher or something like yo.
What was that?
I'm gonna try to take the David mask off and call it from another phone.
Yo, you gotta call me. You gotta call us back, brother.
You sound like that Italian, that gangster Mumble, whatever his name was.
Let me say this.
I'm calling back right now, man.
All right.
With a 929 number.
All right.
Let me say this. Brother Frank been working really hard down there. I have to applaud him on that.
Yes.
He's been in the streets, man, and working real hard, talking to the people and trying to make some real changes down there. So I have to really applaud the brother for that. When we got down there, he met up with us, and we seen the work that he's doing. And that's really, really admirable to come all the way from New York to be down there every weekend or every other day just to do that work.
Yes, sir.
So I really applaud that brother for that.
Hey, one thing, brothers, and I've told Frank too. I said one thing we have to do as a united effort is change our language when we talk about police crimes. We instead of calling it police brutality, we gotta call it police criminality. Because that's what it is. We gotta identify it as a crime. See, because police brutality is just it's not putting up to the level of crimes. So when we start calling it police criminality, we're taking it to a level that these cops that violated policy and procedure and training that they're certified with by the state, whether it's Maryland, New York, Florida, California, wherever, they are criminals themselves. So that's the language we got to start talking to put it. When you talk like that, the legislators understand what you're saying. We want to address police criminality. We don't want to address police brutality. We want to address police criminality because what they're doing to our community is criminal. Is straight up criminal. Because I think once we start defining what they're doing, we are able to bring it to another level. Because police brutality, people don't get it. police crimes, people understand it. You know, and because the reason why I say that, because outside of the Maryland state attorney, people are not seeing it as crimes, especially in New York. You know, especially in New York. I mean, Ken Thompson is a rare breed to bring an officer up on charges, and he's doing that. He's doing that because he really doesn't want a statewide special prosecutor. He really doesn't want that. So he's trying to show that the DA's office can do it, but all the criminal justice experts that speak out on reform know that the DA's office is incapable of doing it because they rely too much on the police department for other cases. So, you know, let's keep pushing it, man, and we got to get legislation going, man. We got to get these legislation. These black elected officials ain't going to do it. We need to vote their asses out.
Absolutely. You know, to add to that, you just said special prosecutor. But look, let's look at this. Now we bring a special prosecutor in. But this special prosecutor has any relationship with the DA's office or the police department or the mayor or the commissioner, then he's worthless. He's just like the CCRB, worthless. You know, so if we need someone who can be extremely independent, who has power, not just verbal or written power, but power to actually put these police in jail without any question.
I agree, and that's how the legislation should be. That it is a separate when the legislation is pushed forth, it is a separate body. It is a separate body, and it has funding to do in investigations. See, one thing about New York, when there's a death. When there's a death in the jail, no matter what jail in New York State, the New York State Commission of the Corrections come in and they do their own investigation. No matter what that facility says, whether it's Rikers, Sing Sing, Bedford, all the way upstate, no matter what that facility says, the New York State Commission of Corrections comes in and they do an independent investigation of the death of that inmate. They don't do that for police.
Do they do that in the Army?
In the Army,
I think Brother Frank just called back in too.
You know, so that's the model that you want to do, and they make sure that they have subpoena power, that they can subpoena the officers and subpoena everybody. You know, that's the model we have. But what these politicians are giving us is an independent monitor, and an independent monitor has no power. It has no power at all. That's what the governor's talking about. That's what these black politicians are talking about, and it's useless. That legislation is useless.
And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to pacify the people. And that's the same thing they're trying to do in Baltimore right now. They're trying to pacify the people. You got Negro politicians coming down there, that's been down there and coming down there, so-called leadership, trying to pacify the people, and that's not what the people need. You know, I spoke to a brother today. Yeah, we're going down to Baltimore. I said, brother, what you going down there for? You know, we're going to go sit and meet with the mayor. Fuck the mayor. You see what I'm saying? Well, that's not who you need to talk to. That's not who you need to talk to. You need to talk to the people. The people don't need the mayor. The mayor been there and ain't did shit in the first place. You talking about talking to the governor, talking to the police. Hell with all of them. Talk to the people. Ask the people what they need, what they want. And then when they tell you what they want, then do the damn thing. Stop waiting for other folks to do it for us. Right. You know, the hell with them. We ain't gonna wait for them to rebuild these goddamn buildings. Rebuild the damn building. Take it over. And if they want to fight after that, we fight them. But right now, let's do what we got to do for the people. You know, and like Jose was saying earlier, you know, I'm going to pledge that I'll be back down there to help the people. You know what I mean? I'm going down and get my boots on the ground and help the people, because this is what's needed. We can't just go down there from New York and say, okay, we came down and we're waving at you, but we're going to go back to New York. No, hell with that. I'm making contact with people down there. I'm going to talk to Frank and find out what the people need. I'm going to put it on my Facebook page and see if I can get some volunteers. And we're going to go down there and do the damn thing. And then when we do the damn thing, we're leaving because we don't want them to feel like we coming down there to take over.
Right,
and that's what was told to me. That's what was told to me yesterday. Foreign people coming out here and just trying to take over. No, I'm not here to do that. This is your house. We're going to come down there, help you clean your house, and haul that fucker on. Because we don't need to be in your way.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with a lot of us sometimes. We come down there and try to take over the movement that's already been created by the youth, take over that movement and act like we already know what's going on in Baltimore. We don't know. So we need to follow their lead.
One thing I want to say.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
One thing I want to say to all three of y'all, and I wrote this in Black Westchester, I applaud y'all for continuing to go down there even after the charges were filed. Because while the charges are victory in itself, the charges in essence could be just a tactic to calm down the community. So we need to continue to protest until there's sentencing and they in jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't let up now. Like, you know what I'm saying? The protests need to continue. So for y'all to even go down there after the charges is what and say that y'all going to continue to go down there. I give y'all props for that.
And you know what? To add on to what you said, AJ, I remember Damon and I went to the mosque, and Hafiz Muhammad spoke about it. He spoke about getting indictments and nothing happening, and he compared an indictment to a Happy Meal. A Happy Meal does not satisfy an individual. It's not nutritious. It's not healthy. It's not anything. And so once it came out, you know how many phone calls I got? How many text messages? Yo, those individuals down in Baltimore, they got arrested. I was like, don't believe the hype.
Right.
Because, and then I posted on Facebook, just like the case with Emmett Till. They cut his penis off. They gouged out his eyes. They cut his ear off. They cut his tongue out. And nobody was convicted.
Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Well, look, we got, on the lighter note.
Well, let's give Frank a couple of words. Did Frank call back in?
Frank call back in?
Can you guys hear me now?
Big Frank!
I still got the Darth Vader mask on.
No, you're not that bad now, brother.
You're lower, but you're clearer, though.
Yeah.
If you can speak directly into it, because you're a little low.
All right. Listen, what this prosecutor did down in Baltimore, in my opinion, is a farce. I agree with you guys. It's an attempt to derail the movement, to take some momentum out of the movement, and we should not even look at it. Number one, she put the heaviest charge on the driver. So she's already playing a shell game, acting like the crime occurred in the van. There are many witnesses that say for a fact they broke his back before they put him in the van. So she's already going down the wrong way. She already gave them a way out. She wants to put it on the driver. All right? So, as y'all pointed out, we got to keep on going, whether or not there is a conviction, and get legislative changes. This is the biggest thing because, we give our condolences to Freddie Gray, to Kenneth Chamberlain, and Molly Graham, and all of the other innocent black and brown and poor white black men and women that have lost their lives to police criminality and police murder. But I think the bigger picture is to be proactive and to put an end to it. As you pointed out before, Damon, legislative changes. Somebody pointed out the prosecutors. These prosecutors need to be independent and dedicated, along with the judges, only to dealing with the police. They should be elected by the people, and they answer to the people, and they know they're not doing what the masses of the people in that community want. Their asses out of the job. But they should only deal with issues of police misconduct or police criminality. That takes away the cohesion. Understand? You guys still there?
Right.
Yes,
we're listening. Go ahead, Sal.
Also, I wanted to say something real quick, and that deals with the black officers. And anytime I see black officers, and when I've seen the National Guard people on the ground in Baltimore yesterday, I told them point blankly to their face, listen, man, this could happen to one of your children or your loved ones. These officers running around like rabid pigs,
They don't first ask, do you have somebody on the force? You know, look at what happened to Kenneth Chamberlain Jr.'s father, Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. He's an ex-Marine. He served, and the police still killed him. So we got to remind our black brothers and sisters, yo, man, listen, man, even though you want a job, this can happen to you. Your silence is condoning police violence.
That's right.
One last thing I want to say real quick. The United States has a contingency plan where they plan on using UN soldiers because they're not sure when it really comes down to it. This is one of my strategies. When it really comes down to it, will the many enlisted men who are black actually fire on their people? And I think we need to turn them and let them know. This is what I told them yesterday, too. Man, y'all are not fighting for freedom and justice. Y'all are fighting for tyranny. And y'all are fighting for material wealth. Or for this oligarchy. Y'all on the wrong side. Think about it.
Right. Well, we just gotta keep on pushing it, man. And I'm proud of you, brother. You know, you done stepped the game up. You done went from People for Politics to Hot 97. You know.
Right, and I haven't turned the radio on inside of my house in years.
Man, don't do that, man.
Yo, I'm proud of you, brother. You done stepped your game up now, and you walking on CNN, being interviewed. Yeah. I said, my brother, man, he done left People for Politics. He on CNN, man.
I'm saying with y'all, this right here is home base, always. I don't care what they got me. I'm always be right here, man. I'm with the people, man. With you guys that's been with me, Jose, Tim, Cynthia, AJ, Damon. We've been in the field, in the trenches together, man. Ain't nothing gonna ever change.
That's right. That's right. And we all got to get together.
You know we got your back. And you know we got your back, Shot. That's why we came back for your ass when you were stranded. Yeah, that's funny. He got stranded out there in a way, so we have to make sure we rescue our brother.
That's what's up. That's right. You gotta always. You can't leave the wounded, man, when they get stranded like that. But we all gotta get together, man, sometime this summer, because I think we really need to talk about taking this fight also to the steps of Governor Cuomo. He's been guarded by certain black leaders. You know, every time we talk about things, they want to go down to D.C., you know, and march down in D.C. instead of marching on the governor's doorsteps about oversight for these New York police departments. I think we got, you know, sometime soon we all got to sit down and strategize how we bring the fight to Governor Cuomo.
Absolutely.
Because he's
You're 100% right. You're 100% right about that. Because, you know, just like the so-called Justice League march to walk to fucking Washington and Sharpton in Washington talking about police reform and all that bullshit. You know, the real deal is not Washington. The real deal is in the governor's office.
That's right.
Who's dealing with New York.
That's right.
And you know, we gotta start exposing these so-called black leaders for the frauds that they are, and letting the people know that, you know, they're not your leaders. They're not trying to help you, you know, and that's what the problem is, you know, and that's why a lot of these victims run to Sharpton and others who they think can help them. When reality is they're working for the fucking government, you know. Right. They front and puppets for them, you know. So it's like, you know, why? How are you gonna tell me? And the funny thing I get, I listen to, I was taught by Sharpton to read between the lines, and when he speaks on victims of police brutality, he basically, and if you listen to his speech, all the speeches are the same ones he used from far as Anthony Baez to Amadou Diallo. You know, we're going to bring a special prosecutor. All the same bullshit.
Yeah. Talking that back from Toronto, bro.
Yeah, he does have he had the same speech.
He has the same speech.
He got the same speech.
He has the same speech, and he has no intention.
A little louder. You know, same speech is a little louder. And the funny thing is, you know, we accept that bullshit and thinking that it's okay, all right, we're going to let him do his work. No, fuck that. Let's shut that shit down and do what we do, because we no longer have to depend on him to bring in cameras for them to do nothing.
That's
You
right.
know, that's why there's been a media blackout on real grassroots. Been a media blackout on real grassroots. All winter long we've been marching. All right, Jose and his crew been in Grand Central. All over the damn city, we've been marching and posting up Black Lives Matter banners all over the place. Do you think the media covered us? Hell no, because of that media blackout. They didn't want the people to know that the movement still is moving, and we're going to keep on moving. We're going to shut some more shit down, and we don't give a damn.
Yo, I want to personally thank all three. I want to personally thank all three of y'all. Get into our next guest.
Y'all can stay on the line if you want to.
Before we get into
I gotta get out of here. I just want to extend my love to all of y'all.
Okay,
Damon, AJ, and Cynthia. I gotta go anyway.
Before you go, I want each of y'all to say the name of your organization and if you can be reached anywhere on social media so people can follow y'all or whatever. If y'all can do that briefly.
I'll start it off. My name is Jose LaSalle. You can just Google my name, just like I tell these officers. Google my name. Or you could just look up Cop Watch Patrol Unit. I'm involved in a lot of things, especially dealing with families that lost their kids to police terror. So y'all can reach out to me, and I'm there to support everybody, man, that is heading in the same direction for liberation of our people. And the last thing I want to say is that let's not forget, man, that the only powerful instrument we have right now that in reality is becoming the changer of voice and the change of conversation is these video cameras, man. So if you see something, pull it out and use it, man. Let's make sure that we stay on top of everything going on in our community. Right. Much love and respect to Damon, AJ, Cynthia, Sha, Tim, and all my comrades out there, and all the real honest freedom fighters, man. Much love and respect for y'all, and I'll definitely see y'all in the battlefield. Peace.
Much respect.
Tim. All right. Go ahead, Frank.
All right. Like Jose said, you can Google my name, too. You know, we making noise out there, and the powers that be definitely got us under a microscope. You can also send me a friend request at Frank, F-R-A-N-K, Shah, S-H-A, Francois, Francois. You can find me on Instagram, Frank S. Francois, stay spelling, F-R-A-N-K-S, Francois, F-R-A-N-C-O-I-S. On Twitter, it's at Real Talker, R-E-A-L-T-A-L-K-E-R. I'm a part of many different organizations. This time I'm going to say Peacekeepers first. Peacekeepers with Captain Dennis and Brother Damon and Sister Cynthia and Brother AJ. I'm also part of South Mass Incarceration Network, part of the Jamaica Cop Watch Unit, and down with Malik Zulu Shabazz with Black Lawyers for Justice. And whenever Jose stops playing games, I'll be down with the Cop Watch Patrol Unit too.
All
right. Well, my name is Timothy Ford.
I said I look forward to continuously working with all y'all. We're getting it done. You got their attention. Now let's just keep on pushing and don't let up on the pressure.
Absolutely.
All right, Tim, your go.
Yeah. Timothy Ford. My name of my organization is Africans Helping Africans. You know, you can, and I'm also affiliated with everybody else around this whole issue of police brutality and the PPA organization. But mine officially is Africans Helping Africans. And anyone who wants to reach me can reach me on my Facebook page, Timothy Ford, on Facebook. Or you can call me. I don't give a damn. Just call me, and we'll work something out. 347-489-0917. That's 347-489-0917 for Africans Helping Africans.
That's right. Thank you, brother.
I want to thank all three of our callers coming in and give them an official round of applause.
Thank you guys for calling in. I appreciate you guys.
Right. Peace and much love to everybody. I'm out too, man. I got a lot.
Peace. I'm out.
No,
we good.
Right. And Damon, I will let you introduce our next guest, our special guest for the day.
Yeah, we got a special guest. These people are like family, man. You know, this is like another homecoming when I get to see them. It's very great to have them here. First, I'd like to introduce. We go back Damn, we go back a long.
to get to wherever they had to go to.
Right.
You know, so
that you're right, and that what was so unique, you know, about the Million Man March was that everything got shut down. Everything, to the point that they had to cancel schools in black communities, and 95 was just black people from Boston all the way down to Washington D.C. You know, cities shut down for the Million Man March, and that was so, and that showed our unity and the power that we had, but then we lost it, you know, for whatever reason. You know, we lost it after that. We lost that power, and also we lost the respect of the world because the world was watching that. The world was watching. Now we just march, you know. And how many people are registered to vote that march?
You know what?
What's the purpose of having 10,000 people and only 500 people are registered to vote?
You know what? We talk about that all the time, and we talk all the time. We got a musical guest.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's just time to get some music.
I want to hear some music. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Volume 4.
Yeah, he said it's this one.
Can
He said it's
let me play it and let's see. Yeah, you're gonna have to put the headphones on so you can hear it.
Oh, okay, because I know he said this is the volume for it.
No, there's you just yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
yes. It's our first time live, people. So I know you're looking like, what's going on over there? It's our first time live.
I just need
a little more volume.
Keyboard. Thank you. Much better.
happy home, destined for greatness. You're gonna go so far, baby boy. You're a shining star. What I'm about to tell you is a matter of great concern. There's a burden you must carry for being a black woman's son. But know that you're the chosen one, so precious and loved, that no one make you feel less than what you are. But trust in these words I say to you, may someday save your life. Oh, beautiful sun, let your light shine wherever you go. This is not your average run-of-the-mill lullaby. I'm raising you to feel inferior to none. You
Black Boy Lullaby. That's one of my favorite joints.
Yeah, that song makes me, really, I'm kind of weird because that song just makes me, tomorrow I'm just going to write something and get on somebody's nerves.
called I Don't Mind. Y'all just have to pretend that I got a band behind me and 3 vocalists. Just imagine that. Oh, you could have? Right along with the pretend claps and all that? Okay. All right. That's excellent. Is it everything you ever dreamed of? Are you happy with the way things are? Can you say life's treating you well? How is it so far? How you feeling, my love, surrounding you like a blanket full of kisses from your head to your shoes? Does it make you want to testify about it? Is it good? Yeah. What must I do to keep that sweet smile on your face? I wanna make it so good that it can't be erased. I'm working hard, so tell me what to do. I will only do for you. No, I don't mind. What must I do to make you feel every day like you're the only one loved in a very special way? I'm working hard, so tell me what it is. I never loved no one like this. No, I don't mind. Is it everything you ever dreamed of? Now I'm going back to the first verse, but I'm sorry, y'all. Does it give you peace, or do you feel special one day? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever you want, whatever you need. If I don't have it, I will get it. All I wanna do is please. There's no request too big or small. Baby, I'm just showing all of you. So tell me, what can I do for you? Keep that sweet smile on your face. I wanna make it so good that it can't be replaced. I'm working hard, so tell me what to do. I will only do for you. No, I don't mind. What must I do to make you feel every day like you're the only one loved in a very special way? I'm working hard, so tell me what it is. Never loved no one like this. No, I don't mind. Why don't you know that you're the only one that's got me acting crazy? I'm bending over backwards for you just to keep you satisfied. But guess what, baby, I don't mind. All I wanna do is thank you for the best years of my life. Keep that sweet smile on your face. I wanna make it so good that it can't be replaced. I'm working hard, so tell me what to do. I will only do for you. No, I don't mind. What must I do to make you feel every day like you're the only one loved in a very special way? I'm working hard, so tell me what it is. Never loved no one like this. No, I don't mind.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
So
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberation.